Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me today. This is really, I get to do this once a year, and I really look forward to it. I haven't been to Ghana in 4 years, and that changed last week. I just got back from a trip, and I haven't been in a long time, and I'm just so grateful to be able to share an update on our time. As Jay said, my first trip to Ghana was in 2011 when I was 19. We started Eight Oaks in 2013, so this is a cool year. It's 10 years. I've grown up a little bit, not a ton. I'm not old enough to be doing this yet, but I'm getting there. We've been doing it for 10 years, and a lot has changed in 10 years. As kids do, they grow up, and so I'm excited to share something just kind of fresh. What I feel like I'm doing is just like sharing a slide, like pictures of my trip, and these are people that I love, and I'm just excited to share them with you. So if you could go to the next slide. Just to put Ghana on the map, southern border is the Atlantic Ocean. It's the orange country there, Ghana. Just a quick backstory. The girls come from a place called Lake Volta. You can see that blue finger going all the way up the country of Ghana. They're from the northern part of Ghana. It's very rural, very desolate. They were living in extreme poverty, and they were working as child laborers, meaning they weren't going to school, and they had no intention of going to school. And it's a cyclical poverty that goes back generations, and so their prospects were very poor. We brought them from the lake to the very southern tip, almost near the ocean, and we created the Yellow House. We did this with partners like Riverwalk and those students that Jay mentioned, and many churches and families of people who've been supporting us since 2013, just here in Wichita. Okay, go to the next slide. We took this picture of these 8 girls. This was the week they got from Ghana. It was November. This would be like November 13th-ish, 2013, almost exactly 10 years ago. I just love it. They're so happy. They're so eager to be there. And every time we go, we recreate the picture to see just how much they've grown. So if you could go to the next one. It's 10 years later. It's pretty remarkable. You can see those pink flowers that they're holding. Okay, the next one. Just to tell you kind of what we do when we go, I just try and embed myself in their life. So that one on the right, that's just me having breakfast with them. And there's just interesting things about Ghanaian culture. They have the platters and the saucers and the cups. It's incredibly formal, actually. In spite of what we would think of as poverty, it's very, very formal. And it came with like draped blanket and everything. So we had toast and tea together. The one of us at the table were playing slapjack together. They speak incredibly good English. They pretend not to with me because they're shy, but they understand everything I'm saying. God's Way was reading a chapter book, 200 pages long, and I started reading. I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are playing with me. They are remarkably smart, but English is their second language. It's kind of a chore. I don't know if any of you are bilingual. I'm not. It feels like writing with your left hand. That's what I feel like I'm asking them to do every time I ask them to speak English. So a lot of what we do is we just sit and be together, and our presence is enough, and I think there's something really beautiful about that. Okay, next one. When we go, in many ways, one of the great privileges that I have of being the person that gets to go to this is I get to bring gifts, and it is almost like Christmas when I come. And it's getting more expensive as they get older. I'll just tell you, I think that is the way it is with all kids. It's getting more expensive. We got the girls watches and these jackets. It's the first time we spent over $1,000 on gifts, and it was worth every penny, but I'm thinking about it now. All right, keep going. This is them with their jackets. It's rainy season right now. And one of the traditions we've had for as long as we've gone is that they want us to walk them to school in the morning. And it's only a 5-minute walk away for the youngest girls. And it just happened to rain this morning. So they were so excited. All 8 of them wore these jackets. And they gave me the umbrella, and we walked to school together. And that's us walking to school. All right, next one. So the 3 youngest girls are in what we would call middle school. They would be ninth graders. So the way, how we used to do junior high school was seventh, they're still doing it like that there. So the 3 youngest are ninth graders. The 5 oldest would be sophomores in high school. We would say sophomores in high school. They're in their first year of senior high school. So the oldest 5 were not in school right now. And so on the way back, we did a fashion show and we took pictures and stuff like that. They were very excited that they didn't have to go to school these days. And I don't know what, they just had me take all these pictures. They didn't even look at them. It's a universal thing for high school girls to want their pictures taken like this, I think. It's amazing. Okay, let's go to the next one. So we're reaching new milestones. In Ghana, senior high school is what they call it. It would be 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. The entire public system is built on boarding schools. So the girls will leave the house and go to a boarding school for their high school experience. And the 4 oldest have just left. So they went to 2 different ones. And so one of the things, I've walked the girls to school, 5-minute walk, for the last 10 years. This is the first time we're driving an hour away. And so I got to take them to their senior high school for the first time. So if you go to the next one. Sarah Senior and Rich Love. It's Adidome Senior High School. They wanted to wait till the very last minute, so we waited till all the way to the night. So we didn't even get a good picture because it was dark out, but we drove together. And what was really cool is we got into what's called a trotro. It's similar to a 15-passenger van. And we all rode together, all 8 of us in the car. And it was too full, well, there wasn't enough seats. And it's the first time I've been in a trotro with these girls driving somewhere since Geiji, when I was in northern Ghana, and we picked them up on the side of the road in their bags 10 years ago. It was really something to be in a van with them again, dropping them off somewhere. It was really remarkable. So we took Sarah Senior and Rich Love to Adidome, and then the next one. Then we dropped off Godsway and Dinah at 3-Town High School in Danu. They're a little bit, their education system in Ghana is not as, it's not as rigid as ours. It's more flexible, more fluid. So the girls are actually 18 or 19 years old. And we would say they're starting high school. It doesn't quite feel like that in Ghana. It's not unlike dropping your kids off at college. I know academically it's high school, but they're at that age where they're really on the verge of adults. I don't know if you're an 18-year-old here today, we know you're an adult, but just barely, like kind of. There's some things that aren't quite fully baked yet. And if you've had those teenagers in that age, we're not fully done yet. And I think I was talking with Tim Lofton last night, actually, who's an old school Riverwalk alum and whose children helped us start the Yale House. And he said, what's the exit plan? At 18 years old, 19 years old, what's the exit plan? And I'll talk about that here in a second. Okay. And these are the last 3, Regina, Sarah Jr., and Gloria, who are still in junior high school. This is their last year of junior high school. And we walked them to school. Lucky is right in between. She's finished junior high school. She's waiting to get accepted into senior high school. So the milestones are, school is changing. The Yellow House feels empty. 4 of the girls are not there most of the time. They come back on holidays. And they need the Yellow House as a home base, but they're not there as often. Okay, next one. We can't do this without our Ghanaian partners. Landon and Kate helped us start, and they were there for the first year and a half, and it was impossible to do without them. But we've needed Ghanaians to run the ship for the last 10 years, and so I always want to make sure and thank our Ghanaian partners. This is Bernard and Celestine Atachi. Bernard's a college professor. Celestine was a kindergarten teacher. They've both retired, and they've been absolutely devoted to the girls for the last 10 years, and we're so grateful for their leadership. And the next one. This is, and I can't say her name, her Ghanaian name, I butcher it. Her name is Thank God in English. It would be Thank God on the left. She's the caregiver for the girls. And Jennifer is our social worker in the polka dots on the right. And the next one. This is just a fun one. These are our management committee. The guy in the full yellow and blue he retired 17 years ago. So he's in his late 70s and he's riding a motorcycle. I just want to point out how cool he is. He's just remarkably cool. He's an accountant by trade. He audits our books every year. When I talk to other nonprofits working in Ghana, they're so jealous of our bookkeeping. It's a funny thing, but it's so well run and organized because we have an accountant on our board. The man behind him who's ripped, he's a pastor. He doesn't walk well. He carries 2 canes, and so the accountant picks him up on his bike and brings him to the management committee meeting. Just an addendum. I wanted to mention them because I just thought he looked so cool. Okay, next one. Okay, the Madagascar periwinkle. This is my note there. It's the pink flowers that they were holding in that first picture and then again 10 years ago. 71% of Ghanaians complete elementary school. About half complete middle school. About a third complete high school. They had no chance of going to school when we found them 10 years ago. They were never going to go to school. That cycle of poverty would have continued. They were at, if you would use percentiles, they were at the absolute bottom economically in Ghana. We've now taken them past only 71% finish elementary school, done. Only half complete middle school, we're almost there. Only a third complete high school. We've got only 2 or 3 more years until we put them in the top third of the country. And only about 6% of women complete university. And that's our goal. We want to take them from the absolute bottom of the economic ladder in Ghana and take them to the top and create this radical upward mobility for them that they would have never had access to. And education is just one blunt metric for this. We're wanting something far richer than a good education. We want them to feel whole and self-worth and valued and connected to their community and to their families. But we're doing something pretty remarkable. And as what Tim asked, what's the exit plan? It was called 8 Oaks. As soon as we got the 8, everyone said, when's the next house? And even then, at 24, I was like, I think I'm good. I think this is enough. 8 feels like a lot, and it is a lot. The exit plan is in the name, 8. I think nonprofits that have an end date in sight are really good nonprofits. We're gonna finish this project and be done. And so we only have about 6 more years left. And I wanna finish really, really strong. I wanna take them all the way through university and set them up for life. So this Madagascar periwinkle, if you could go to the next one. This flower is all throughout the yellow house, all throughout the compound. And I've always loved it, but I've never really thought in that one in the bottom right corner, that's growing in a slab of concrete. It's just a slab of concrete, and these flowers just grow right out of it. I just want to read you, I took a picture with my phone. I don't know if you have iPhones. If you take a picture of a plant and you click on it, it will tell you everything about it. It's the coolest iPhone feature there is. It's one of the only reasons to have an iPhone. But you take a picture of this, you look at it, and it's the Madagascar periwinkle. I just want to read from Wikipedia what it says. The Catharanthus roseus is considered weedly and invasive, often self-seeding prolifically in disturbed areas, alongside roadsides and in fallow fields. I think goodness is kind of weedy, and it gets into stuff, and it can't be stopped, and it grows through concrete. And I'm really thankful to everyone at Riverwalk who's invested in this. We have a few more years left. My wife and I volunteer. This isn't our job. We're doing our best. I have a day job. This is something that these are people that we love. It's barely a nonprofit. It's people that we love and care for. And I'm just so thankful you've been a part of this journey, and I'm excited to have the end in sight. Thank you.